Welcome back to the Surskit challenge. If you are not familiar with the rules I'm using, I suggest to watch the previous episodes of the series. Last time, I easily cleaned up both Team Aqua and Team Magma's hideouts. This means that the next big fight is against the Moss Deep's gym leaders, Tate and Liza. Pokémon Emerald has a lot of double battles, but this is the only mandatory one which requires you to have at least 2 Pokémon. I'm trying to win the game using only one Surskit for each battle, so this raises an obvious problem. To me, it makes more sense to use a double Surskit. There's no point on losing a battle just because I'm outnumbered, but I also understand that someone might consider it like I'm changing the rules for the occasion. So, in the end, I'm going to show you both the ways. First, let's take a look at Tate and Liza's team. Unlike in Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire, in Emerald they have 4 Pokémon. They start with Xatu and Claydol, and keep Lunatone and Solrock as their ace. Claydol is mainly there to spam Earthquake since the rest of the team is immune to ground moves, but the real problem is Xatu. It's fast, and has the highest special attack in their team. Also, I need to finish the battle as soon as possible. Except from Claydol, everyone in Tate and Liza's team has the move Calm Mind. I can't really allow them to set up, or I'm doomed. Spoiler alert. Despite all these difficulties, with a double Surskit I won on my first try. I didn't even have to breed new spiders, I already had 2 Surskit in the box that were just good enough. There's not much to say about the EV train, except maybe this fun fact. Apparently, killing a shiny gives you the double amount of EV. I guess that was my lucky day, and a good sign for the upcoming battle. Speaking of which, the plan is pretty straightforward. One of my Surskit has Ice Beam and enough speed EV to outspeed Xatu. So on the first turn, I hit Xatu with a strong Ice Beam as it starts setting up Calm Mind. A Bubble Beam leaves Claydol with less than half HP, as it retaliates with a pretty strong Earthquake, if you consider that Surskit resists it. Second turn, I'm able to easily take down both of them, and now Lunatone and Solrock come out. They are both pretty slow and a double Bubble Beam is more than enough to kill Lunatone before it attacks. Solrock then sets up a Sunny Day, but it has a worse special defense than Lunatone, so moves like Thief and Ice Beam are good enough to take it down in 2 turns. This was the easy way. But I reset the game and prepare to face the real challenge. I'm not going to lie, I spent hours trying to find a consistent way of winning without the double Surskit. In the end, I came up with a plan, but it's not easy to set up. For starters, I need Hydro Pump. It's an egg move, so I first have to train another Pokémon with an EXP share. I explained my rules for the egg moves in a previous episode. Basically, I can't teach a move that is learned over the level cap. In this case, the only 2 options are Milotic and Mudkip. I'm allowed to trade a Mudkip, but foolish idea, I tried not to do it. Even if this might go a bit out of topic, I need to get this off my chest. Feebas is really hard to find and evolves in Milotic only when its beauty stat is at least 170. So, first of all, I went to Route 119 to catch one. In case you don't know, Feebas can only be found in 6 random water tiles, and only using a rod. I ran out of patience pretty soon, but as I was making my final attempt, it showed up. I was happy and I went to Lily Cove to craft some Poké blocks. But after way too much time spent there, I found out that I couldn't max its beauty without specific berries, unobtainable until post-game. Maybe there was a way, but I don't regret dropping the idea. That was an angry morning. Anyway, I finally traded a male Mudkip from Pokémon Ruby. After a long training with the EXP share, it reached level 42 and learned Hydro Pump. In order to have a chance against Tate and Liza, I need very high and specific IV in 4 different stats. For my special attack in particular, I need precisely 31 IV, and the max amount of EV. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how brutal that was. After many hours, I finally find the Surskit I need and I name him Kaido, since he's the strongest. The EV train doesn't give any shiny surprise this time, so I won't be wasting time on that. On the other hand, it's important to know that I taught Kaido both Ice Beam and Solar Beam via TM. But now, let's just talk about the gym fight. Instead of a Magikarp, I bring with me a Feebas. It's the same thing, but at least I get to see that stupid fish fainting. On the first turn, Zato always uses Psychic against Feebas because it sees a kill. So I take advantage of the free turn to take down Claydol with one Hydro Pump. The move has only 80% accuracy, and it's about a 50% range to kill, but I really couldn't find a better way. Here I hit the range and get to level 43. Now I'm faster than Zato, which is really important. Lunatone comes out, and I go for another Hydro Pump, since it's a guaranteed kill if I hit. Luckily I don't miss, and meanwhile Zato goes for a Calm Mind. The AI here tends to use a setup move as long as it doesn't see a kill. Thanks to my IV and EV, Zata's highest psychic roll currently deals 98% of my HP, so in most cases I'm still safe from being attacked. I bring Zato under half HP as it goes for a second Calm Mind and Solrock sets up a Sunny Day. I have never Melt Ice equipped, so a second Ice Beam is barely able to take down Zato, even with the double Calm Mind. Now it's 1v1 against Solrock, but it needs at least 3 moves to kill me. Flamethrower doesn't burn me, so as long as it doesn't crit me next turn I should be fine. First I use Ice Beam for the freeze chance and to avoid triggering a berry, or an Hyper Potion. I barely resist a Psychic and then, thanks to the strong sunlight, I'm able to use a 1-turn Solar Beam and win the battle. This was really intense, but in the end I won in my 3rd try. For sure some luck was involved, but overall I think I made it as consistent as possible. Now that the 7th gym is defeated, I have to deal once again with both Team Magma and Aqua. At the Space Center I team up with Steven Stone for the double battle against Maxi and his admin. My plan is to bait the enemy moves on me and let Steven do as much as possible, so I teach Protect to Cop. In this fight it's pretty much impossible to predict the AI because it has 2 different targets to choose from. The only guaranteed thing is that it will always go for a kill if possible, and that Mighty Hyena tends to use Scary Face if I'm faster. The fight is a bit long, but it was a pleasant change of pace from the previous battle against Tate and Liza. Here I cannot really plan ahead, but I have to make decisions as the fight goes on. The major problem is Maxi's Crobat, but I stall with Protect while Metong takes care of it with Psychic. At that point there is only one Mighty Hyena left, so the fight is pretty much over. More so considered that it just focused Steven's Pokemon. For the next important fight, I have to follow Archie to the Seafloor Cavern. His team is actually more problematic than Maxi's, but I don't really bother with complicated strategies. I decide to use Bird Keeper since it has an electric hidden power to deal with Sharpedo. Here I just wanted to gather some informations, but I ended up with a lucky win. Probably all I needed was to reach the level cap, but I decide to move on to more interesting fights. But first, I need to advance with the plot, and stop the childish squabble between Groudon and Kyogre. Once Rayquaza gives them an angry scream, I can finally challenge the last gym leader of the region. Juan uses water types, so he shouldn't represent a big threat for Surskit. He even has a Luvdisc, which it's kinda of a joke. I'm sorry, but no one likes Luvdisc, not even me. For the fight, I decide to bring with me the mighty Kaido. He already has Solar Beam, so I teach it Sunny Day too. This way, every Pokemon in Juan's team goes down in one hit, except Kingdra. Kingdra has no real way of damaging me, but it spams Double Team and uses Rest as soon as its HP is low. Sadly, I'm just barely slower and this makes the fight significantly harder. Probably I should have just used some berry to lower my HP EV, and then put some more points in my speed. In the end, Kingdra uses Ice Beam instead of Rest because it sees a kill, but it misses the high roll. Then I manage to hit a final Ice Beam through its double teams, earning the final badge. I realize this wasn't the most elegant fight, but I can't wait to face the Elite Four. As I'm editing this video, I still haven't figured out a plan for every member of the Pokemon League, but I'm really excited about it. For now, wait. I forgot Wally. Well, Kaido makes short work of his entire team with Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. To be honest, I was convinced that the Wally fight was at the end of Victory Road. Otherwise, I would have prepared a bit better. This time it doesn't seem like it was needed, but I doubt the Elite Four will be as easy. Stay tuned. For now, back to theory crafting.